Welcome back to USA News Hub. From Djokovic to Sinner, a decade of men's tennis Grand Slam champions, 2015 to 2025. From the dominance of Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal to the rise of Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner, the last decade of men's tennis has been a breathtaking era of transition. Legends have reigned, dynasties have ended, and a new generation has taken the throne. This is the story of how men's Grand Slam champions have evolved, from 2015 to 2025. Over the past 10 years, men's tennis has witnessed one of the greatest transformations in history. What began as the twilight of the Big Three, Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer, has evolved into the dawn of a thrilling new rivalry between Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner. From 2015's Novak Djokovic domination to the back-to-back major wins of Sinner and Alcaraz in 2025, the narrative of modern tennis has been nothing short of spectacular. Let's rewind to 2015, a year that belonged almost entirely to Novak Djokovic. The Serbian superstar captured 3 out of 4 Grand Slam titles, the Australian Open, Wimbledon, and the US Open, defeating some of the game's biggest names, including Andy Murray and Roger Federer. Only Stan Wawrinka broke Djokovic's streak, lifting the French Open trophy that year. From 2016 through 2019, Djokovic and Rafael Nadal continued to rule. In 2016, Djokovic achieved the career Grand Slam by finally winning Roland Garros, while Andy Murray enjoyed his own glory moment at Wimbledon. Nadal, meanwhile, returned to his clay court kingdom in 2017, 2018, and 2019, adding 3 more French Open titles and proving that Paris still belonged to him. Roger Federer, though in his mid-30s, wasn't done either. He produced one of the most emotional comebacks in tennis history, winning the 2017 Australian Open and Wimbledon, rekindling his rivalry with Nadal in front of adoring fans. By 2019, tennis was at a crossroads. Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer still dominating, but new names like Daniil Medvedev and Dominic Thiem were beginning to knock on the door. Then came 2020, the year everything changed. Despite the global pandemic halting sports, tennis delivered unforgettable moments. Dominic Thiem captured his first Grand Slam at the US Open, defeating Alexander Zverev in an emotional 5-set thriller. Meanwhile, Rafael Nadal won the French Open for the 13th time, crushing Novak Djokovic in a final that reaffirmed his clay dominance. Djokovic, though, rebounded quickly, winning the 2021 Australian Open, French Open, and Wimbledon, nearly achieving a calendar slam before losing to Daniil Medvedev at the US Open. That victory for Medvedev marked a generational shift, the first sign that the new wave was ready to challenge tennis's old guard. By 2022, the change was in full swing. Nadal started strong with titles at the Australian Open and French Open, but the headline soon belonged to Carlos Alcaraz, who captured his maiden Grand Slam at the US Open, becoming the youngest men's world #1 in history. The Alcaraz era had officially begun. If 2022 was the spark, 2023 was the explosion. Carlos Alcaraz stunned the world by winning Wimbledon, defeating Novak Djokovic in a 5-set epic that symbolized the passing of the torch. Djokovic still had his say, winning both the Australian Open and French Open, taking his record-breaking Grand Slam tally even higher, but it was clear that a new chapter had begun. By 2024, the rivalry between Alcaraz and Sinner had become the heartbeat of the sport. Sinner lifted the Australian Open and US Open trophies, while Alcaraz claimed Wimbledon and the French Open, splitting the majors evenly, a balance not seen since the days of Federer and Nadal. Then came 2025, and what a season it's been. Sinner started strong, winning the Australian Open over Alexander Zverev, before Alcaraz hit back with victory at Roland Garros. The two traded blows again at Wimbledon, with Sinner taking the crown this time, and Alcaraz closing out the season with a US Open title over his Italian rival. 4 finals. 2 young champions. 1 epic rivalry. The balance of power in men's tennis had officially shifted, and fans couldn't be more thrilled. Between 2015 and 2025, Novak Djokovic won 15 Grand Slam titles, cementing his place as arguably the greatest ever. Rafael Nadal added 5 more, mostly at Roland Garros. Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner, still in their early 20s, have already combined for 10 major titles in just 3 seasons. That's the definition of a tennis revolution, a smooth yet dramatic handover from legends to leaders of the future. What's most striking about this decade is how seamlessly the sport has transitioned. Even as Federer retired and Nadal reduced his schedule, the passion, intensity, and quality of men's tennis have remained sky-high. The rivalries have evolved, from Djokovic vs. Federer to Alcaraz vs. Sinner, and soon, perhaps, to Sinner vs. Rune or Alcaraz vs. Shelton. Each generation brings new flair, from Djokovic's precision, Nadal's power, and Federer's elegance, to Alcaraz's creativity and Sinner's controlled aggression. From the big three to the new two, the torch has been passed, but the fire still burns. As we head into 2026, men's tennis stands on the edge of another thrilling chapter. Will Alcaraz and Sinner continue to share the spotlight? Or will a new challenger emerge to disrupt the balance? One thing is certain, from 2015 to 2025, the game has never stopped evolving. The legends inspired the next generation, and the future of tennis has never looked brighter. Tennis, that's all for today's update on USA News Hub. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with the latest sports news and highlights from around the world.